Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy new week. Happy astro weather. We're going to touch on a little astrology today. It is early in the morning. It is 6 a.m. on Tuesday, and the moon is still in Leo. Not for much longer, though. So within a couple of hours, the moon will shift over into the sign of Virgo. So we'll have the sun in Aries and the moon in Virgo. That's fire and it's earth. It will be in Virgo until Thursday at some time, probably midday, I would guess. So when you have a water and fire combination, think about what happens when you pour water on fire. I meant earth. Water, earth fire combination. You get charred land. Like if you've ever seen land that's been burned before, you know what that looks like. It looks a little bit like a graveyard or like a tree graveyard. And it can just, those two elements don't go together super, super well. Earth thinks that fire is a little bit too spontaneous, a little bit too wild, and then fire thinks that earth is like too structured and too rigid. So if you think about what fire does, when there's fire, it spreads out. It goes into the straightest line to a new source of fuel. And it doesn't really ask questions. It's just kind of instinctual, and it goes. Now, Virgo is an earth sign. It's practical. It asks a lot of questions, and it brings a lot of structure to chaos. So they're kind of opposite in nature in how they operate. So there's going to be a little bit of a disconnect between our inner selves and our outer selves. That fiery personality might be at odds with our earthy insides for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The sun is in a harmonious relationship with Saturn, which is the planet of our life lesson, our purpose, of restriction and limitation. So some of that uncomfortable energy of feeling like you can't quite move forward, or you're stuck, or you have your emergency brake on, should kind of lift up a little bit. So use the practical from the Virgo, use the organized, use the structure, and use the chaos that comes with Aries, that comes with fire and burning and spreading out and instincts. And you should be able to propel yourself forward into your goals and dreams, and moving yourself closer and closer and closer to what it is that you're aspiring to. Thursday through Saturday, we have the sun in Aries and the moon in Libra, and that is a full moon. Whenever it's a full moon, the sun and moon are opposite from each other in the sky. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and Libra is the seventh sign. So they are opposites on the wheel, on the astrology wheel. So whenever there's a full moon, I love to look at polarities. I love that. I think the universe is polarities. So the specific Aries and Libra opposition or polarity that we have is Aries is all about like personal physicality and individuality and freedom of choice and freedom of what you're doing. Freedom to express, freedom to bulldoze your way forward. Whereas Libra is more about the other, and it's more concerned about your relationships with others and how you are yourself within relationship and how you respond to others. So Aries is very self-centered, Libra is very other-centered. So as we approach the end of the week, as we move closer to that full moon, I want you to start to notice those themes and how they appear in your own life. What is your relationship to yourself like? And what is your relationship to others like? And what is kind of the middle ground? Do you have commonalities between your relationship to yourself and your relationship to others? Examine things like people pleasing and boundaries, and how you say no to people, and how you say no to yourself and yes to yourself. So full moons it's Saturday at 11:55 a.m. Full moons are times for abundance, for celebration, it's like the peak of the cycle. The energy is the highest. So we can celebrate, we can enjoy ourselves, we can get together with ourselves, we can get together with others and celebrate and commune and appreciate all of the abundance that we have and everything that we've worked towards over the past 2 weeks. After the full moon, the sun will stay in Aries for a couple more days. The moon will move into Scorpio. So again, then we're coming into a watery and fiery placement. Now I've heard that Scorpio is kind of like a fire sign dressed up in a water sign's body. Or I've heard it said that Scorpio is just responsible Aries. I think that these two signs go together pretty well, Aries and Scorpio. There's a lot of intensity, there's a lot of Mars energy, a lot of drive, which is perfect for finishing out Aries season. The sun moves into Taurus coming up pretty soon here next week. Taurus will help to slow things down, to bring more structure, to bring more like one foot in front of the other kind of energy versus this like bam explosion that is Aries. So I love the fast energy. I love fieriness. I love when things are like blazing out of control, kind of, not all the time. But I love the energy, the warrior energy that Aries brings. So do your best to pour all of your warrior heart out. Of course, we'll still use it. Of course, there will still be Aries aspects in the sky. But yeah, use the intensity over the weekend that comes from Aries sun and Scorpio moon to help to process some of that full moon energy, that really high peak energy. Use it by moving your body, using it by being creative, use it by starting to turn your focus inward and kind of probe into some of the deeper questions, the harder parts of who you are. And we also, over the Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, the sun is squaring Pluto. And that can just be tricky. That is when our personality is kind of at odds with transformation. And that can be scary for some people. That's when our ego, our personality, our outer expression may meet some kind of change. It may meet some type of rebranding or I don't know. There's a transformational energy that comes along with Pluto. So to have that kind of grading on our outer expression, our ego, I would expect it to be a little bit challenging and to feel uncomfortable. So use what you know, use physicality. We're still in Aries. I know the moon will be starting to wane at that point, but we still have a lot of that high full moon energy that we can use to burn some of this stuff up, to exercise and get some of that discomfort out by burning it out, by exerting yourself, by using your body to move stuck stuff through. Awesome. I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, let me know.